Hey guys, what's up? Welcome to the channel, or welcome back to the channel. We are the Mile High Property Brothers. Today, let's dive back outside of Denver a little bit and talk about the best suburbs around Denver that we think are best overall. But first and foremost, something that we see very consistent within Colorado is whether you're gonna live in Southeast Aurora, Highlands Ranch, Castle Rock, Colorado Springs, Arvada, Broomfield, they're kind of like these little utopias, which I'm sure a lot of places are, where you've got like your malls and your shopping centers and your schools and kind of everything you need to have as far as like your day-to-day and not having to leave.
So Highlands Ranch is by far one of the most popular suburbs that we have. For people that truly, really do want to be closer to the mountains, you are gonna be going to the mountains frequently, living in Highlands Ranch might be a good option for you. You are significantly more west, and Highlands Ranch is pretty big, so you can even go west Highlands Ranch and you're really close to the mountains. You're almost in the foothills at that point. Highlands Ranch is a very established city. It's one of the older ones that we have here. The majority of Highlands Ranch homes are gonna be built in the 90s, like the early 90s to early 2000s, meaning they're already 20 to 30 years old. So a lot of times you're in these homes looking, and if they haven't been updated already, they're probably in need of some updates.
Correct, unless you are going to backcountry.
That's right.
Not
Backcountry for you Fear and Loathing fans.
Get in.
Yeah, backcountry. That's right, backcountry.
I like saying it like that. This sounds like it's bigger because it is bigger. It's awesome. You got some nice luxury homes that are in backcountry on the backside of Highlands Ranch. An amazing area. They've got a nice clubhouse that's there. Brand new homes, really cool. And hard to beat this as well. You've got great schools that are out here. You've got a gated community to get yourself inside of backcountry. So if you like it to be a little bit more exclusive, and when you're like on the backside of this hill of Highlands Ranch, you've got a great view of the Rocky Mountains. A little bit more quiet, a little bit more exclusive. Definitely not as the population out here in backcountry is definitely significantly smaller than like what you would get in South Shore for sure.
It gives you so much of exactly what you would expect from the Colorado scenery, from lakes and trails and rolling hills, and no two houses look identical. Like, man, backcountry is just such a cool place for awesome scenery.
And they've done a good job as far as like some of the trails, like the one like we're right here just by one of the little private lakes over here. They've got like sand and rock into the trail, not just cement. So they've done a really good job with it. And these trails extend outward outside of the neighborhood, so it's not just some sidewalk behind all of the houses. Like, it goes back, it crosses water.
One good thing to know about backcountry specifically, well actually I'll back it up, Highlands Ranch as a whole. So if you buy a home in Highlands Ranch, like I said before, they're real big on their rec center. So you get access to their 4 major rec centers that they have. Now, no matter where you buy in Highlands Ranch. Now, with backcountry specifically, we have one just in here called Sundial, which is a really cool clubhouse. There's all sorts of family activities going on there all the time. Even just when we were pulling in here to shoot today, there's just a big, I don't know if it's a graduation party or some kids party, but a ton of kids just having fun together out here in all the parks. So really, I mean, this community, guys, you've got everything that you need, from trails. There's people mountain biking around us. You can do legit mountain biking around here, running. You can do like the concrete skiers like we'll see in Wasp Park. We'll see those guys out here.
Don't get me started.
Multiple lakes that you can go walk around, and just tons and tons of open space for you guys to enjoy.
We are just northwest of Denver. We are directly
Northeast of
Westminster, correct?
Yep.
Just off the highway. And Broomfield is probably your #1 fastest growing spot outside of like a Southeast Aurora, which has also been around a lot longer as far as its establishment. But Broomfield, you've got the First Bank Event Center, which formerly known as Broomfield Event Center. I'm sure they sold it for some money, whatever it may be, but really cool event center. They do UFC fights there, a lot of different cool
concerts,
stuff. Concerts.
Justin Bieber.
Right inside the heart of your little city. You're 15 minutes from Boulder, which is really cool. You're 30 minutes, 29 minutes from Denver.
20 minutes to Denver, 30 minutes to DIA.
To the airport.
To the airport.
30 minutes to the airport, 15 minutes from Boulder. Like, a really cool spot. I call it the Western Slope. It's not called that, but for me, being a local, anything closer to the mountains.
Anything like west of I-25.
Anything west of I-25 that's closer to the mountains, man, it's growing really quick. And there's a lot of cool stuff about Broomfield that not necessarily every little suburb has compared to this place. Broomfield, Colorado is 20 minutes from Denver, 30 minutes from DIA, and we are just northwest of Denver, just off of the Highway 36. So
for those people that are going to be working in Boulder, or they just like the Boulder vibe and they're going to be visiting there a lot to ride their bikes or go hiking or whatever, Man, Broomfield is one of the first places I tell them to check out because the affordability, top notch, the shopping, top notch, the community, and just the suburban kind of feel while being 20 minutes from all of that stuff is crazy.
Here you can find things
530s.
530s, so you have things that are like 500 to 650, but then you've also got some neighborhoods that are 900 and up. So a lot of different options out here, but really cool, great builders. Lots are also great out here. We've got a couple of spots where you guys can have a 3-acre lot in Broomfield, something that you're not gonna find in Southeast Aurora. You're not gonna find in Highlands Ranch. Up here, up north and northwest, you still have some areas where they're allowing some of those lots to be up to 3 acres. So something for you guys to think about depending on your needs and your wants as far as where you want to live.
You go back 20, 30 years ago and it was Denver and then Boulder. Man, everything else in between was very undeveloped, very farmland. And that's why you have so many new builds up here, because they sold a lot of that farmland. And you'll see new homes, new developments, new neighborhoods, a lot of apartments, a lot of townhomes, a ton of single family homes, and all of this new commercial development. So again, that's one of the pros here, guys, is a lot of the stuff is just new. And you'll notice from the B-roll of these shopping areas, they're new, it's nice, it's all very, very clean. It's a great
accessible,
spot.
very clean, just very well taken care of. Another thing that we always stress upon, but it's education.
Yes.
So up here for school districts, you've got Adams 12 and you've got Boulder Valley, depending on where you fall. You've got a couple of other small little school districts here and there, but not very common. You've got some other private schools, but mainly you're gonna be falling within Adams 12 and Boulder Valley. Both of them are really good school districts. Adams 12 has a lot of great things about it. Boulder Valley is actually 4th in all of Colorado and nationally ranked. So Boulder Valley, phenomenal school district. If you guys get your hands on that, just be proactive with your school districts. Obviously, no matter what school district you're in or how good or maybe not so good it's graded, having direct contact with your teachers, being proactive. Overall, education is a big thing out here, which has some great amenities and just some good overall experiences for you guys.
Broomfield is going to be a really, really good option for you guys. Now, if you are thinking about moving to Littleton, you're probably really focused on the nature that's out there and you're looking to be a little closer to the mountains. You're looking for a little bit more of the outdoor lifestyle. Getting into location, we are located just southwest of Denver. So Littleton has over 1,500 acres of outdoor space and over 200 miles of trails. Some notable parks that you're going to want to stop by when you're out there is Roxborough State Park, which is closer to that Sterling Ranch area that Will had mentioned. And then Chatfield Reservoir is one of the biggest state parks that we have here in Colorado. And that one is, I would say, mostly notorious for boating and camping, wouldn't you say? And there are so many different parts of Littleton, and you'll see on some of the B-roll and drone footage, we have historic downtown Littleton.
You've got tavern there.
Man, so many
cool little,
you've
got some restaurants, you've got
the
pubs.
Melting Pot is there.
Yep, but you've also got that one that's also downtown.
View House.
View House. Sorry, View House. I should know you by now. But you've got tavern, you've got View House. Those are both like some newer, modern beer and food type places. Really cool atmospherics, but you've got some old, just beer spots down here. Really cool feel. It's not overgrown. They kept it small, so it's very reminiscent size-wise of like an Old Town Parker. Definitely different vibe as far as here in Littleton than in Parker.
And a lot more. Yeah, a lot more. You got Breckenridge Brewery out here. Littleton is just huge on breweries and beers in general. But then going in the...
No, you don't have to cuff your jeans
and
wear Doc Martens.
Nope.
You know, it's got that woody top note that I always look for.
But going downtown, guys, you're going to see...
But you do have to slick your hair back, okay?
That's right.
Take notes.
Going downtown, you're going to see a lot of antique stores. You're going to see a lot of mom and pop coffee shops and little candy stores and cool places just to get t-shirts and homemade, just like handcrafted items. It is really cute. People from all over the state, all over the Denver metro area, they will come to downtown Littleton for brunch, just to go spend Saturday afternoon.
Right.
It is definitely a highly desirable area. You're gonna find, 1950s to 1970s.
And this is my kitchen.
For the most part, but then you're also gonna find, if you head way southwest in Littleton, Sterling Ranch, which is a brand new build development, which you will not find 1950s homes
they've
out
got
there.
fiber optics that are ran through the ground. They have like over a gig per house of internet, and it's almost like its own little like smart city, small city. Because like, for example, if a kid goes missing in that neighborhood in Sterling Ranch, your street lights will like flash a certain color to let everyone know that a kid is missing or whatever it may be, so everyone can be on the lookout. Little cool stuff like that. It also recycles rainwater. which is one of the only like neighborhood slash small city areas in the country that does that at all. So a lot of forward moving opportunity there.
Yes.
Their lot sizes are a little bit smaller. Your backyards are not going to be huge if you're diving into Sterling Ranch. Not everybody wants a huge backyard. So preface that, but you have a UC Health facility that's there. You've got a great coffee shop. You're right off of Santa Fe, so your commute to 470 and into Denver still isn't terrible, but a lot of really cool stuff going on there.
Speaking of new builds, we are at Cooley Lake right now. You can see right behind
Plum
us.
Creek,
Yeah, Wild Plum.
Wild Plum.
Yeah, so this is a Wild Plum.
Wild Plum.
It's a really interesting.
Never heard of a wild plum. You ever, sorry, digressing, you ever wonder like when they get names for places, it sounds amazing or majestic, but then when like you think of it literally, you're like, wild plum, like just like a plum, just going off the rails,
probably
right?
use like random name generators.
I just feel like
it's kind of silly.
I'm imagining a plum riding a horse, shooting guns, like digressing.
So we are at Wild Plum, and what's interesting about this development, because Littleton, guys, is very developed for the most part.
Yeah.
That's why Sterling Ranch is on the far outskirts. But here we're kind of central Littleton. We're only 10 minutes from historic downtown Littleton.
Right.
But what happened was
That.
Yeah, like Lennar, they're a builder out here. They purchased a handful of these lots. There's 100 lots to be specific. They're about 90% full right now, but they just put this brand new development on the lake right in the middle of established Littleton.
Parker's just got that small town feel.
Yeah.
So you've got Main Street, that's really cool, some little mom and pop coffee shops. One thing that hasn't quite caught up when it comes to like that southern region of Parker and the development over there is your commercial.
Commercially, I feel like Parker
Southland,
is a little underdeveloped.
Parker has no father. We are not your father. They have to go to Southlands Mall in Southeast Aurora or into Castle Rock. And all jokes aside, it's a great spot. You're not far from anything when you're in Parker. So again, like it just comes down to like, do you want a quieter field? Do you want a little bit more of that aspect to it, or are you okay to live somewhere else? Bottom line, between Castle Rock and Parker, because there are so many similarities besides like the outdoor experience in some of those malls, if you're looking at one, look at the other, and definitely take that time to turn those stones and just figure out bang for buck in proximity and based off of your needs what you need. So as far as like your grocery stores, the commute to your grocery store, the variety of grocery stores, gas stations, things like that, if you're up on Crowfoot Valley, you can go down into Castle Rock, or you can come down the backside back on toward like Parker Road and Hess area. You do have a King Soopers, you do have a couple little shops, you've got some Cold Stone ice cream there, but you don't have a huge commercial development really that close to you, which isn't a terrible thing. A lot of people don't mind it, but it is something to understand if you're gonna be in that southern region. Bounce, man, something that's super unique within like that Parker area is the Pinery. Just the landscape of it, how they set it up. You do have just different feelings when you go from north to south Pinery.
The Pinery is unique in the sense of Parker by itself, there's not a ton of scenery around there, right? You'll have some like rolling hills and maybe some plains here and there, and of course you can see the Rocky Mountains, but you don't have a lot of trees. You don't have the big bluffs that in foothills like you have like in southeast Littleton or West Highlands Ranch or Castle Rock. However, the Pinery is one of these, it's an exception to where it literally feels like you're driving around a little mountain town or Evergreen or something like
100%.
that.
And you've got like the original side of the Pinery, which is a little bit older, a little bit older homes, but still big homes, amazing homes, great lots, great views. But then you've also got the part of the Pinery that's got a lot of your new development. So you're having luxury homes anywhere from $1 million to $3 million that are getting built out there, and they are awesome. So a lot of things to look forward to, but you also have those pine trees, hence the Pinery. You've got a golf course over there, a lot of cool stuff. And this is on the south side of Parker, just on the east side of Parker Road, if that makes sense.
Yes. Now, Superior, guys, if you're not looking for Superior, you might miss it. So that's why we really wanted to put this video, because we have not exposed you to Superior yet. But if you're flying into Colorado, maybe you're landing in Denver, you're checking out Denver, you're wanting to drive to Boulder, you're gonna pass right through Superior on Highway 36. But again, if you're not paying attention for it, there's a couple little signs on the highway, but you may not even get off. You may just bend straight to Boulder and completely miss out on
1 or 2 exits.
all this open land and mountain view.
25% of the land out here, at least, is all for bountiful open spaces.
That's
so
crazy.
You've got cows, you've got trails, you've got mountains. You guys we don't have to move much for you guys to see this. However, if getting outside and seeing happy people running around and being healthy is not for you, man, sometimes those people bother me. Sometimes I would rather eat a ton of food and throw apples at joggers.
Oh, there's one.
How's your workout?
Seems more fun at times. However, hey, if that's not for you, if you don't want to get outside, if you don't want to look out your window,
Yeah.
yeah, like this could be the third thing that's the worst thing about Superior, Colorado that you might not want to be subjected to.
Yeah, and I'm glad you brought up that point because, man, I feel like a quarter of the people that we happen to talk to, like having something that backs to open space, having a lot of open land and open trails is really important. Like one of the good things about pretty much all of Colorado is whatever neighborhood or city you end up in, you're gonna have plenty of trails and stuff like that to enjoy. However, there's a big difference between the trails going in between other homes and some kind of man-made open space versus the trails that are behind here where there's cows down there and you're really within nature. None of these are outskirts per se. I know a lot of states where you guys are coming from, if you're not right in Dallas or Chicago or New York or whatever, everything else is considered outskirts. In Denver, not the case.
You're talking 38 to 40 minutes. Everything that we've mentioned is 38 to 40 minutes outside of downtown Denver.
Yeah, and all the cities by themselves, Will would call them, it's their own little utopias. They have everything you need. They're going to have all the stores, all the restaurants, the Targets, the Walmarts, everything you guys need on a day-to-day basis, everything right there for you.
There isn't like a specific demographic that moves into a certain area in Colorado. And a lot of folks are still super active and friendly and they want to experience the mountains or the trails. And because you can find so much of that regardless of which neighborhood you're choosing out here, especially whether it's Southwest in Backcountry and Highlands Ranch we're at now, or Southeast in Aurora, or straight south in Parker and Castle Rock. They're all different in their own ways, but they've all embraced like that Colorado feel and given you the trails and the outdoor experience, which means like, yeah, just people that tend to be in Colorado, they just enjoy just the outdoor experience and being active regardless of what age demographic or family or no family. There's a lot of commonalities with just people loving Colorado. So it's cool because you get a really diverse community in every single neighborhood that you find.